They carry rifles, rocket launchers, and desperation. And sometimes their paths collide with the most powerful navy on Earth. When that happens, the sea turns into something far from the stories we once heard. Pirates are not only from old tales or movies, they are real, and they are still out there. No flags with skulls, no playful adventures, just danger, hunger, and survival. The U.S. Navy meets them in silence and in fire. And in those brief moments, the ocean becomes a place of shadows, where fear and courage stand face to face. Long before warships carried missiles and radar, the seas were ruled by men with nothing but courage, knives, and desperation. The so-called Golden Age of piracy stretched across the 16th and 17th centuries, when thousands of sailors abandoned lawful trade and turned to raiding. For many, it was not romance, but survival. Poverty drove them. Hunger pushed them. The sea was their only escape from lives ashore that offered nothing. Their punishments were as cruel as their crimes. Some were hanged in ports, their bodies left swaying as a warning. Others faced marooning, left alone on barren islands with a jug of water, a handful of bread, and sometimes a single loaded pistol. The choice was simple, but brutal: starve slowly, or end the suffering quickly. Yet the allure of freedom at sea drew more men into piracy's grip. They sailed for gold, but also for a taste of life outside the chains of kings and merchants. Those days are gone, yet their shadows remain, drifting into the stories of today's pirates. Different weapons, same hunger. Pirates of today. The pirates of today look nothing like the ones from the past. No wooden ships, no cutlasses, no treasure maps. Instead, they race across the water in fast boats, their faces hidden, their weapons modern and deadly. Automatic rifles rest in their hands, and rocket launchers lie at their feet. They do not chase gold coins. They chase ransom money, sometimes worth millions. The seas near Somalia became their hunting ground. Merchant ships, heavy with cargo, move slowly through those waters, and pirates know the routes. They pretend to be fishermen or send fake distress calls to lure vessels closer. Once near, they climb aboard, using ladders and ropes, while fear spreads across the crew. For sailors, these moments are terrifying. A single mistake can mean captivity or worse. Families wait far away, not knowing if their loved ones will return. Though many voyages end safely, the threat lingers like a shadow on every horizon. Modern piracy is not a legend. It is real, it is growing, and it reaches deeper into the world's trade than most people realize. U.S. Navy's multi-layered response. When pirates strike, the U.S. Navy does not always answer with missiles or heavy guns. The first line of defense is often quieter, but just as powerful. Water cannons blast streams strong enough to knock intruders back and flood their boats. What looks simple becomes a wall of force, stopping pirates before they can even touch the deck. Ships are also built to resist. Razor wire coils along railings, sharp and unwelcoming. Metal doors are reinforced, turning hallways into barricades. Inside, crews are trained to fall back to hidden citadels, safe rooms with heavy locks and emergency radios. Even if pirates board, they face a ship that refuses to surrender. Preparation is constant. Captains drill their crews in emergency maneuvers. Lookouts scan the horizon, eyes never resting. Ships move at higher speeds in dangerous waters, harder to chase and harder to catch. Every routine action at sea becomes part of survival. This is not just defense, it is discipline. The Navy knows that against an enemy who hides in the waves, survival depends on readiness. Layers of barriers, drills, and tactics weave together, forming an unseen shield around sailors and their cargo. Eyes in the sky. The ocean is too wide for any ship to see at all. That is why the Navy turns to the sky. Helicopters circle above, watching the waves for unusual movement. Their eyes cover miles that no lookout on deck could ever scan. When they spot a fast boat racing in the distance, they warn the ships below before danger arrives. Unmanned drones stretch that reach even farther. Unlike pilots, they do not tire. They do not blink. They glide quietly, recording every flicker of motion on the water. From high above, they track vessels that try to slip unnoticed across the sea. Information flows back to command centers in real time. A small blur on the horizon can quickly turn into a full picture of intent. The advantage is simple but powerful. The Navy does not wait to be surprised. With eyes in the sky, they see first, they move first, and they hold the higher ground over an ocean that hides many threats. The power of shared intelligence. No Navy fights alone. The sea connects nations, and so does the threat of piracy. To face it, the U.S. Navy shares what it sees and learns with others. Reports are passed to international centers where data flows like tides, movements of suspicious vessels, details of past attacks, and shifting pirate routes. One such hub is the International Maritime Bureau's Piracy Reporting Center, a place where incidents are logged and studied. Another is the Maritime Security Center in the Horn of Africa, where alerts are sent to ships passing through dangerous waters. These networks act like a nervous system, spreading signals across the world. For sailors, this shared intelligence can mean the difference between safety and capture. Warnings reach captains before they sail into ambush. Patrols adjust routes to cover weak spots. The Navy knows that knowledge is not just power, it is protection. When nations share their watch over the seas, the oceans become harder for pirates to hide within. Strengthening the weakest links. Not every country has the resources to guard its waters. Many coastal nations live beside the threat, but lack the ships or training to push it back. This is where the U.S. Navy steps in, not only with weapons, but with guidance. Through joint exercises, regional crews learn how to patrol more effectively. They practice boarding drills, communication signals, and emergency responses. Equipment is sometimes shared: radios, small patrol boats, or navigation systems, tools that make a difference in the daily fight. The goal is not to control, but to empower. A local navy that can stand on its own keeps pirates from slipping into unguarded waters. Strong neighbors mean safer seas for everyone. These efforts rarely make headlines. They happen quietly, in ports and training camps, far from the drama of gunfire on the waves. Yet they may be the most important battles of all, building trust, skill, and confidence where they are needed most. A battle at sea. USS Cape St. George and USS Gonzales. In March 2006, two American warships, the USS Cape St. George and the USS Gonzales, were patrolling off Somalia. Their task was routine: protect shipping lanes. But the calm ended when a vessel towing several skiffs appeared on the horizon. At first, it seemed like another fishing boat, yet something felt wrong. As sailors closed in to inspect, armed men revealed rocket launchers and rifles. Gunfire cracked across the waves, striking toward the U.S. ships. The Navy answered at once. Their return fire set the main pirate craft ablaze, flames devouring it until it sank beneath the sea. 2 skiffs were captured, 12 men taken prisoner, and 1 left dead. Later, a Somali group insisted these were Coast Guards, not raiders. The claim left a haunting uncertainty. Still, the weapons were real, the danger undeniable. That clash proved piracy was more than a nuisance. It was open conflict, carried by desperate men into unforgiving waters. Pirates evolving. Defeat does not end piracy. It reshapes it. Each time navies adapt, pirates adjust their methods. They no longer rely only on speedboats. Larger ships, known as motherships, now carry smaller craft far from shore. With these, pirates can strike in waters once thought too distant to be threatened. Fishing vessels are also taken and repurposed. To passing eyes, they seem harmless, nets hanging from the sides. But inside, they carry armed men waiting for the chance to attack. Deception becomes their shield, making it harder to tell the innocent from the danger. Some even reach beyond the sea itself. Hackers working with pirate groups infiltrate shipping company systems, seeking information about routes and cargo. By the time a vessel sails, the attackers may already know its path. This constant change keeps the threat alive. Navies cannot relax. Crews cannot let down their guard. The ocean may appear endless and empty, but within its vastness, pirates are always finding new ways to hide, to strike, and to survive. Beyond ships, technology and power projection. Technology and nature both shape the battle against piracy. The U.S. Navy uses unmanned drones and surface vessels to watch waters too wide for human eyes. These machines scan, record, and warn, keeping sailors out of needless danger. Beneath the waves, sonar systems listen for what sight cannot find. Yet beyond the weapons and machines, another struggle unfolds, one against the harm pirates leave behind. Illegal fishing empties seas, while fuel spills poison the water. Fragile coral reefs crack under careless anchors. What begins as crime at sea spreads into lasting scars on the ocean itself. Navy patrols, by pushing pirates back, also protect these waters from destruction. Each warship is more than a shield for trade. It is a guardian of the sea's balance. The fight is not only for ships and sailors, it is for the living ocean and all who depend on it. They carry rifles, rocket launchers, and desperation. And somewhere beyond the horizon, the U.S. Navy waits. This struggle is not a story that ends. It repeats, wave after wave, as long as men see the sea as both prison and escape. Pirates are not ghosts of the past. They live, they change, and they search for weakness. The Navy's watch never ends, because silence at sea can turn violent in a heartbeat. In those moments, courage speaks quietly, without glory, without spectacle. The ocean holds its secrets, and among them is this truth: freedom is always defended.